summer is coming to a close and it is almost officially fall, I decided that it was time for me to make a video about what to do if you're in the situation where you need to keep working on your creative side of things but don't know how to start. I recently saw an article about a live stream that happened between Jennifer Gardner and Anthony Fauci, and Anthony Fauci was talking about how we won't be able to see people performing on stage until at least a year after the vaccine is created for COVID. I decided to make this video because of that article, because I feel like a lot of people are struggling right now, especially in the creative industry. And if you are an audience member of any creative person ever, feel free to support your local artists by buying their merch, supporting their live streams, following them on social media, sending them a message, or donating to their live streams, or if you can, sharing their art too is a great way to support other fellow artists locally. At least everybody watching this video probably knows somebody creative. Even if you just know me, I'm a creative. But I thought making a video about what you can do if you are creative to help yourself during this time. I'm just going to be saying a couple tips that I know for sure work and how I'm actually helping myself during this time. Hopefully this helps you as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you love this video, feel free to subscribe. I am making content and hopefully being able to put it out every Wednesday. Let's get into the video. First off, I think amping up your social media, which of course I'm going to be saying that as a social media consultant, that amping up your social media is the first thing that you should be doing as a creative, making sure that you are posting consistently on your platforms, promoting yourself as an artist, whether or not it be through stories or actual posts on your grid, being constant on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever. Depending on what kind of art you create, every platform is different and each platform has a specific need for you. So if you're a visual artist, then you might go towards Pinterest or Instagram. But if you're a songwriter or a lyric artist, a lot of things on Twitter could be useful for you. You could tweet out lyrics every Lyric Sunday or whatever you want to call it. I find that creating little segments on stories or grids is really helpful for me to continue to post constantly and makes me want to post, because I do Wordy Wednesdays. I do quotes every Wednesday that I find inspiring, and I feel like that inspires people around me, and it also helps me because I love finding quotes on Pinterest and I don't know where to post them. That's a way to use things in your posting. Hopefully that helps. If you have any more questions about social media, feel free to comment down below. But posting consistently is the number one tip that I'm going to give. The number two tip that I'm going to give is making sure that you are up to date on your website and resume. Websites are different than social media because you don't have to constantly post on them. But if you have a running blog, then that's a little bit different. Blogs are great, especially if you're a writer. And if you like journaling, that's cool too. Like, you could use every blog post as a journal entry or talking to your fans in a concise and open manner. I use blogs on my website, but I don't upload that frequently. I usually just do it when something big happens or when a seasonal shift happens, which is right now. That's getting off the point. I think overall, a website, you should be updating whether or not you have music out right now. Like, you should make sure that you are able to listen to your music on your website. You need to update your photos if you need to take more photos, and that's another thing that you can do. It doesn't have to be like Instagram worthy photos, but you absolutely should be uploading your newest headshot on there and making sure that your resume is up to date, because you never know when somebody is going to need you for a live stream project or a virtual show, which are coming up often recently, which is kind of cool. Having your resume up to date as well, having your most recent projects, most recent training, all of the classifications that you want on your resume, maybe updating to include several different types of resumes. Like, you can have resumes for certain roles if you want, or you can have a work resume for things that are not theater related. There's several different types of resumes that you can create or duplicate, and I think that that's a whole nother video that I could go on. Updating your website and resume is super important when it comes to your presence as an artist and presenting yourself properly in the professional world as well as the audience world. So if you are struggling with that or have any questions on that, feel free to comment down below. I can also make separate videos about 5 tips to improve your website, or even how I created my website, and same with resume. I could talk for hours on resume. just let me know in the comments section down below or leave a like on this video. The third tip that I'm going to be giving you is make sure that you update all of your casting profiles. Upload your recent headshot, your recent resume, any bio stuff that you need to update. That means anything on Backstage, Actors Access, Stage Source, which is a Boston only thing. Any of those websites, that's basically the same as a social media career profile. It should be similar on all fronts unless you're going for different jobs on different websites. Now Backstage has an opportunity for you to create multiple profiles if you want to go for multiple things. So I think that that's a super important tool to use if you have a Backstage account. If you don't have a Backstage account, I might consider investing during this time. It's not crucial for finding a job, but during this time where a lot of open calls aren't happening, I feel like Backstage is a great source for you to use all the time and just check daily just to make sure that there aren't any job opportunities that you are missing. A lot of things get also posted on Playbill, which you don't need to make a actor profile thing on. You can search for jobs and open calls. There is stuff there. I will leave all of the sites that I'm talking about down below. If you're interested in checking them out, feel free to check that out in the description. Step number 4, you can email people that you have not been in contact with for a while, letting them know about updates in your life or asking about opportunities that they have heard of, especially if you're in the same area. I feel like you can also just ask if you could catch up with them via Zoom or whatever. If you're not super confident in that, then you can ask how life is going and go from there. Following up with people that you know have creative outlets is not only a networking opportunity, but also some social connection that you don't normally check out. Reaching out to your fellow creatives during this time is super important in general because I feel like a lot of people are struggling in so many different ways. So whether or not it be reaching out to your friends or reaching out to networking people or reaching out to people who you admire, I think just saying, hi, how are you? I hope you're well is a sentiment enough to the industry that we're in, and also making sure that you keep up with them and their lives because obviously you care about them. I don't think that it's wrong for you to reach out to these people and ask how they are doing because it's professional. You're maintaining a professional atmosphere while being friendly as well. And I think that's always a good way to make yourself known in any situation. I think you would want them to do the same for you. So whether or not they make the first move or you make the first move, it doesn't matter. I think as long as you're maintaining professionalism, everything will be all right if you reach out to those people. And if you're scared, then have somebody else read over the email before you send it. It's always good to have a second pair of eyes look over some things. The fifth thing that you can be doing for yourself in general is just making sure that you are keeping up with your training virtually. So whether that means taking up a side hustle like YouTube to make sure that you are using your creative outlet for some type of work, or taking a class online like there's Skillshare if you want to do a subscription service, or you can always just look up videos on YouTube if you don't want to pay for it. This video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but if you look at sponsored videos by Skillshare, then you can see different codes of different YouTubers and they can give you 2 months free for Skillshare, which is really cool because then you can try it out and see about things that you can learn about, like maybe like some graphic design things. I use Canva for all of my social media purposes, but if I were to invest in maybe Lightroom, then I would take a class on Lightroom because I have no idea what I'm doing with that. My boyfriend does, so maybe I would use him as a free source at first, but I think to learn all of the ins and outs, I don't want to bother him with all of that kind of stuff, so I feel like Skillshare is a great outlet for that. I know that there are probably tons and tons of YouTube videos on Lightroom if you are looking into that kind of stuff as well, so YouTube's a free option if you don't feel like going and investing in Skillshare. I think that's a thing to maybe look into if you're looking into delving into one of your crafts or keeping up with actors things. Also, I'm going to be putting a lot of videos on what actors can do during this time and how to update certain things and resumes and headshots and whatever. I just actually did a video on headshots. I'll put that card up here. If you're interested in learning about more things, put that in the comments down below and I will be sure to make a video about it. But if I don't have any research, then I'll definitely point you in the right direction as far as links go. I started YouTube because I felt like there was a void there. There are a couple YouTubers that I looked up to when I did my college audition experience and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like when it comes to professional work, there's not a ton of YouTubers that have a lot of videos on what to do in terms of like social media and work and summer stock and all of that kind of stuff, unless it's in a vlog or in something that's like a little bit more niched. So I think I wanted to fill that hole, and that's why I created this YouTube channel to begin with. And I think, yes, I'm going to be uploading vlogs and that kind of stuff because I think it's fun. But overall, I want to make sure that this is a safe space and a creative learning environment for anybody who is looking for a real life experience of an actor, a stage actress specifically, because I feel like so many people are in the film industry or in LA, and I'm in New York right now, so I feel like that's a different experience entirely than the film industry in LA or the stage industry in LA. Hopefully this helps. I rambled a lot in this video. Hopefully I'll be able to concisely put my points out there. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you loved this video, feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you guys shared this video or sent it to your friends. I love making this video and I feel like it was easy for me to do, and I hope to make more videos like this in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!
2016, when the sky was budding, we was talking about dreams and the future. Conversations in my backseat, Jameson and caffeine, secrets kept in between.